dropped down. In other words, when his body came out of the grave clothes, they just, like you would deflate a balloon, but it kept the same, kept the outline of where the body had been. They got John. That got him. When he saw that, he knew there was no way you could fake that.
That's right.
The grave clothes just dropped down where his body was. They were empty because he was alive, living.
Amen.
And John was blessed because John wrote Revelation and he saw him glorified.
Amen.
The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Sorry about that, folks. I was setting up the fan. It's a little warm in here. And if it makes too much noise, let me know about it. So, hey, appreciate you, Honeybee. We're back again. I got picked up a couple of folks that decided to help sponsor the show. Appreciate them. Indian River Marina, they've added some cottages. I think cottages to the cottages they already had. And the folks, they're going to have a walkthrough. The Chamber of Commerce is having an after-hours meeting in Indian River Marina on Thursday, May 26th at 5 o'clock. And you can go down and tour. And these are for local folks too. These are not just for folks out of town, out of state. These are for local folks too. If you want to go spend the weekend or sometime during the week down at the lake, you can go rent these cottages, rent one of them, two of them, three of them. And I was Debbie, who runs the marina, informed me that if you rent one of the cottages, I think she said you get a boat slip as part of the package. You get a boat slip, put your boat in down there at the dock while you're staying at the cottage. You know, it's neat looking little houses, you know, little small houses, you know, that you can rent, stay in. Hopefully we ain't got sound problems again this week. You're on the air.
Hey, hard to hear you, Jerry.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, let me see what we can do about it. Maybe it'll pick up and let me get this microphone a little closer. So, can you hear that fan? Is that making too much noise? Hey, are you still there? He's gone. Well, I'll try to speak up. But anyway, Indian River Marina, they've got these neat little cottages that you can stay in. You can rent for 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, as long as you want. You're on the air.
Jerry, you're sounding good. You can hear the fan in the background.
But I'm sounding okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
All right.
Okay, that was somebody else calling. I appreciate y'all calling, keeping up with the sound. I've got this fan in here because I get hot. And just my blood pressure I get hot because, you know, like I've told you, I've been doing this a long time, but I still get nervous every time I come on. So, but next Thursday, May 26th at Indian River Marina, they're having a chamber after hours. Anybody is welcome to go down there and participate in this. You don't have to be a business owner. Anybody can go down there and tour these cottages, or 1 or 2 or 3 of them. I'm not sure how many they're going to have available. But you can tour these cottages. You rent these things. Hey, if you want to just get away from home for a couple of days, go there and rent one of these things. You know. So, and then also Whitman Hollow Marina, the restaurant, Froggy's Restaurant and Bar is open, and they're going to have live entertainment kicking off the summer season on Saturday, May 28th at 7 p.m. So, you know, some folks, you know, we hear it all the time. There's nothing to do in Campbell County, nothing to do in Campbell County. When you go down to one of these marinas on the weekend, Go down there and get you some good food, sit out on the lake. Now, even if you don't have a boat, go down there and sit out on the lake and eat. You know, I guarantee you there'll be people down there that you know, and you can sit there all evening and have a good time. There's no question you can have a good time. Whitman Holland, they're renting wakeboards, pontoons. They've got homes down there to rent also. Folks, there's plenty of opportunity to do something here in Campbell County. These two boat docks have got plenty for you to do if you just go down there. Just walk around. They'll give you a tour of the place. You can check the place out. Even if you don't have a boat, there's things to do. So we appreciate those folks. But like I say, next Thursday, 5 o'clock, go down there and tour these cottages and check the place out. See what's going on. You might want to go stay a weekend or something. So, and we, of course, we appreciate Riggs Drugs for helping us out. Went in there today. They're just in there busy as they can be, taking care of folks' needs as they come in. And Bob's got his great big old sign up. He's running for state representative. So go down there and support them. So I was hoping to have tonight, one more announcement. Alan Shepard at New Life Ministry Church down in Indian Mound Circle, or whatever that's called, Indian Mound Circle down there. They're having on June the 3rd, Friday night, June 3rd, they're having a musical concert, a group called Bright Gray, Jamie Chapman, Wesley Sweat's on here. I'm sure Wesley's going to be bringing a message. Wesley's a young man on fire for the Lord. There's no question about that. I know Wesley. Wesley's going to be bringing, they're going to have a Ignite drama team. So, and this is for young, middle-aged, old like me, anybody. It's Friday, June 3rd at 6:30, New Life Ministries down there behind the Eagle Mark. So, go down there and participate in that. So, just more things to do in Campbell County. So, and some good things to do. So, I know most of you are animal lovers. I went to the county commission meeting Monday night, and I asked, when this subject came up, I asked a couple of members of the Friends of Campbell County Animals. We talked about it, and I said, hey, you want to come on and talk about the situation going on down there? Come on the show. And they said they'd love to. I just talked to one of them. They're in Lexington, Kentucky. They had a situation come up that they had to go, the lady told me they had to go to Ohio. I didn't ask her the details, but she said, the situation come up, they had to go to Ohio on behalf of the animal shelter. But the Friends of Campbell County Animal Shelter, they took over, I think last July, they took over the shelter. And the county apparently had the euthanasia license for the shelter. Okay, now there's an article in one of the newspapers that says Patricia Simpson, I think, is quoted in here saying that the euthanasia rate, since these folks have taken over, has went from 98% down to 10%. Okay, now she told me, I said, okay, what's the 10% represent? Some of the animals they have are just old, diseased, and they're not adoptable. There's, in some situations they're just not adoptable. Okay, they have some folks that just bring their pets in. Just again, because they're old or you have some kind of disease or something that, you basically put the animal out of their suffering. You folks know how that is. I don't know, any nice way to say that, because there's really not a nice way to say that you put an animal to sleep. It's a bad thing to do, but sometimes, we all know it's a necessary thing to do. So, but the county apparently has kept up and from my understanding, had the responsibility of keeping up the euthanasia license, and they recently found out the county didn't do that. Okay, so the Friends of Campbell County, they're not an authorized body to have that euthanasia license, and since the county doesn't have it, they failed to renew it. The animal shelters cannot euthanize animals anymore. Okay, so that obviously creates a problem when you've got different agencies out there who, even though the euthanasia is down to 10%, there's still some that need to be, unfortunately have to be euthanized, and now they can't do it. Okay, so they, that's a problem down there. These ladies were going to discuss that, and discuss the fact that because of the way this is set up and the way their group is operated, they're just operating the shelter. Okay, there are certain aspects of the shelter the county is still responsible for. Okay, and one of those is county animal control. The shelter folks are not responsible for when a call comes in that there's an animal, up in the Elk Valley, or there's an animal somewhere that needs to be gone after, or looked after, and maybe rounded up. That's not what the shelter does. They take those animals in, okay? Well, they've been having problems with that, okay? It just seems like the animal shelter, once again, is under a lot of dysfunction, okay? Now, one of the issues that's going on, and I'm hoping all you folks will agree with me on this, one of the things that is really an issue, and there's two different places that they're having this same issue, and the county commission Monday night, to me, did the right thing and corrected these situations. Okay, you've got veterinarians out here that are charging. If I've got a cat and a dog, let's say now our cat we've had her 12, 13 years. It's been a long time. We've had her, she's getting old. And now she's not ready to be put down, and we ain't ready to do that, okay? But I'm going to use her for an example. If we were ready to take her in to a vet and have her euthanized, okay, that vet would charge us $50, $60, $70, $80. I'm not sure exactly what they charge. The common number that I'm hearing from different folks is that vets generally charge about $60, $70, okay, to euthanize those pets, okay? Then those vets turn around and send those euthanized animals that they've charged the customer to put away, send them out to the shelter at no expense. They're not paying any kind of fee, and that's getting ready to change. They're not paying any kind of fee. Okay, they've apparently got a key to the lock, is my understanding, a key to the lock where it leads to the coolers or the freezers where you put the euthanized animals. Okay, and just any time, day or night, they'll just go out there and unlock it themselves and, and put those animals in there. But then when those animals are disposed of from the shelter, we as taxpayers have to pay for those things to be euthanized, okay? The FCCA, the lady told me, two ladies actually told me that they had discussed this situation and were going to start charging the vets for dropping those animals off, okay? So, they're out there making a profit, euthanizing these animals, and then expecting the county to pay for them to be disposed of, okay? So the number I heard was they want to start charging these vets $15 per animal, which seems like fair to me, okay? Well, apparently the vets bucked up and said, no, we're not going to do that. Said that we have an agreement with the county when this place was built that, that's what we're going to do. Supposedly they had a handshake agreement with somebody that they were going to, they were going to be allowed to dispose of those animals free, and the county's going to pick up the tab for disposing of them out of the county when they take, I guess they take them to the landfill, wherever they take it, okay? Well, that issue was brought before the county commission, and the county commission, although they couldn't set a fee, because remember, FCCA is running the shelter, the county's no longer running the shelter, they couldn't set a fee. They passed it, if I understood it, it's just a resolution saying that it's their understanding there is no such handshake agreement, and no such agreement from this time forward shall be considered to be valid. Okay, County Attorney Coker guide them along that and said, look, he said he'd never heard of such a thing, and he's been there a long time. If I remember correctly, he said he never heard of that, didn't know anything such going on, okay? So basically what you're sitting here doing, you've got folks that, and now if you take your animal out there, okay, of course you can't be euthanized now at the shelter. I don't know if there was a charge or not, but if you were to take your animal to be disposed of, there wouldn't be a charge for disposing of that animal, is my understanding, as a citizen, if you took your animal. Because we're taxpayers, okay? Those businesses that are set up making a profit doing this, well, they need to pay their share. That's just the county does not need to be in, and Mayor Morton agreed with this, they don't need to be in the business of subsidizing profitable businesses, okay? And I think Mayor Morton said he was going to get a different lock situation set up, and he was going to go take and put on the door, whatever that leads to the coolers, the freezers, whatever. He was going to go put a different lock on that and give that key to the FCCA, the Friends of Campbell County Animals folks that run the shelter, give that key to them so that they are the only ones that have access to those coolers, and that anybody who wants to drop off animals to be euthanized have to come to them. And if they want to set a charge for that, then they're allowed to set a charge for that, because that's just the way it should be. Okay, that's now I don't know if anybody agrees with me, disagrees with me on that, and I don't know these vets. Okay, my wife takes our animals, whenever she takes them. I never fool with that. Okay, my wife takes care of that. I've told you this most of the time. My wife takes care of our house. Okay, so she takes care of that. Okay, with probably one of the kids helping her out whenever she goes and takes them to the vet. We just, the county, the taxpayers, you folks, me, any taxpayers don't have any business subsidizing fees of a profitable business. They're charging folks to put those animals down, then they need to be paying a small fee to dispose of them, because in like turn, when the shelter disposes of them, they have to pay a fee. Okay, it's just that simple. So there's fees charged to all kinds of things. Again, the county commission voted that they're not backing up such an agreement, and the FCCA can do basically what they want to do as far as charging for disposing of those animals. And I think they said $15, and that's a reasonable fee. That's not outrageous. So, but now they've got to go through the process, and I was hoping those ladies, if they made it, and they said they'll try to make it next week, would explain the process of, getting that euthanasia license back at the shelter. Again, it's an unfortunate thing. Sometimes, folks, as well as I do, animals that sometimes just need to be put down. Now, wholesale putting down of animals like it used to happen, according to these folks, it's not happening that way anymore. Okay, it's just not going that way. So, so we got that situation. Okay, then we got the same situation going on at the landfill, or the recycle center, the environmental center, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you've got folks that are going out in a commercial business, picking up trash, because in the county, we all know we don't have garbage service in the county. I live in the city of Carrollville. We have garbage service. Okay, we pay a $10 fee every month on our water bill for garbage service. Okay, the city comes by, picks up our garbage, and then another day they come by. Me and my wife, we participate in the recycle program. They come by and they pick up our recycle on a different day. Okay, but the city does that. The county, we don't have those services. So then you've got, I don't know how many companies there are out there, but you've got several companies out there that in the county that are charging folks to pick up their garbage and haul it down to the landfill, making a profit. Okay, offer the citizens, offering them a service that is a valuable service, no question about it. But for forever, they haven't been charged for dropping off the garbage. Okay, Now, again, if citizens want to go drop their garbage off, there's no charge for that, okay? You go down there and you drop it off. As long as you've got a Campbell County tag on your vehicle, you're allowed to come in there and drop it off, okay? But you've got folks that have decided they're going to make a business out of picking up garbage, which is fine. Hey, more power to them if that's what they want to do, okay? But they weren't being charged any kind of fee for dropping off that garbage. And again, the county has to pay every time they take that garbage out of here. The county has to pay a fee to get rid of that garbage. Okay, so now there is a fee. The county commission set this up Monday. They voted on it, set it up Monday night. Again, I'm 100% agreement with this one also. Okay, that these folks that run these small garbage businesses, well, I don't know if they're all small. I don't know how big their businesses are. Sorry, I shouldn't have said small. I don't know how big their businesses are, but they have to pay $39 per ton to drop off that garbage, okay? Of course, they're going to pass that along to their customers, okay? Well, and that's an unfortunate part of business. Anybody that's been in business knows that, there's times that what it costs you to be in business increases. It goes up, okay? But in this situation, just like in the situation of the veterinarians, the county's got no business to be financially subsidizing these people for being in business, okay? Again, I've got no problem with them being in business, but if you go to any business in town, okay, they pay some kind of county tax for the right to be in business, okay? There's personal property taxes, there's business license tax, there's what I mean by personal property, folks, some of you that have never been in business, you pay a tax for every desk, every printer, copier, all that stuff has a value, okay? And you figure up what that value is, somebody figures it up, the value and that's your personal property, okay? You pay a tax on that equipment to the county, okay? So why should, why should any of these folks have to pay a tax just for being in business, and then, somebody that's going out and picking up garbage, they get to charge their customers, but they didn't, and then the county pays to haul it off, but then up to this point, they weren't paying anything to drop that garbage off down at the recycle center, okay? Well, now, as of, I don't know when this takes effect, but as of Monday's meeting, they voted to start charging them $39 a ton to drop that off, okay? That's only fair, folks, to be in business. That's only fair. So I need to hear from some of you. Let's talk about these issues, see what you think. See if you agree with me, see if you don't agree with me, okay? And I'll tell you this, last week we talked quite a bit about, this was very interesting, we talked quite a bit about in the city of Carrollville, the International Property Maintenance Code, and what all that code encompasses and what the authority that they now have over you, okay? Let me see. You're on the air.
Hey, Jerry, who pays the Vesper tax, the county or the city?
Who does what? Turn your TV down.
Who pays the Vesper tax on that garbage down there, the city or the county?
Who pays the tax?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean, who pays the tax?
Oh, then the city or the county, then our Vesper that dump.
Oh, the Vasper dump. Well, that's a county dump.
Oh, okay.
You talking about the where the garbage cans are down there?
Yes.
The dumpsters?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a county center, okay? So, and you as a regular citizen can go take your garbage and drop it off down there, and there's no charge for that, okay?
Okay.
So, but a business, you've seen those guys driving around, they got the trucks with the chicken wire around, they're loaded down with garbage. They can't take that and drop it off down there. They have to take it out here to the environmental center, a recycle center, whatever you call it, out there on Tow Street, okay? But now there's a charge for them to do that.
Okay.
You know, so, but yeah, that's a county center, down there at the, where you're talking about. And, you know, and that's just, you know, it's another thing, the county's paying for that, so, you know, why should people that, you know, my point is, why should people that's making a profit picking up garbage basically have to pay tax when every other business in town has to pay some kind of tax to be in business?
Well, I'm thinking the same thing, you know, I didn't know that that's permitted what they did.
Yeah, no, that's a county thing, that's a county site down there. So, you know, you can take yours down, even if, you know, I live in Carrollville, but I'm also still live in the county. I can take mine down there, but fortunately enough, Carrollville comes down and picks mine up, you know. So, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
Oh, they're called convenience centers. I think that's what they're called, those, you know, when they're out to convenience centers. And they are put there for your convenience, and the county pays for that. Excuse me, the county pays for that employee that's out there working that. So, you know, there's a lot of money. I think Mayor Morton told me that, I forget which county it was. After the meeting, we talked about it a little bit. After the meeting Monday night, there was one county that they have a recycle center that serves 240,000 people, and their budget, I think he said, was about $2.75 million. Okay, we have an environmental center that this is funny, folks. It's crazy. We have an environmental center that services 42,000 people, and our budget is just a little under $2 million, okay? But there's other places that, you know, that are, the ones, I mean, you're talking about 6 times more people for just a little bit more money, okay? So, you know, what are we doing wrong here? That we're paying that much for these kind of services. And this is the kind of thing that, you know, these folks are looking at now and looking at these and saying, hey, you know, we've got to get this stuff under control, in line and under control. I think, yeah, I think I read this article, if I'm right. County Commissioner Scott Stanfield is the one that said that, hey, we need to start letting these vets know that, you know, that shelter out there is no longer in the business of free disposal, okay? Apparently Scott said, you know, they wanted to draft a letter to the local vets and saying, you know, of course this ain't the language they said, but the free gratis situation of using that shelter as a disposal drop-off, those days are over with, okay? Not going to happen anymore. And then, you know, I think it also says Scott Stanfield suggested imposing, he's one that suggested a charge for dropping those animals off. And I think this is where Joe Coker come in and says, well, you don't run, the county doesn't run the shelter anymore. There's kind of a partnership with the FCCA, and that charge, if I understood it correctly, has to come through the FCCA. Okay, so, and that's when the county commissioners, under Mr. Coker's guidance a little bit, and you know, decided, well, we're going to adopt a resolution, letting them know that, you know, the handshake agreement or whatever goes away. Same thing down at the recycle center. Okay, so you know, we've got to get back in the business of doing business properly in the county and not subsidizing everybody. Okay, so, and that's what, unfortunately, that's what's been going on. You're on the air.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chair.
Hey, before you get started, this goes along with what we talked about last week. I started to say this. You're going to be real interested in this. You know, we talked about those property maintenance codes. And as I was going off, and I'm talking to you, okay, as I was going off the air last week, I made the comment that I said, I'm real curious as to how many of the council members in the city of Caryville actually read that code before they voted on it. Well, I talked to one of the council members this week, and I asked him, I said, did you read that code before you voted on it? And he told me no. He said, I voted on it because the building codes officer said that she needed that code to be in place to help put teeth into her enforcement of the building codes. Now, I'm not real sure what that property maintenance code has to do with the building codes. Do you know?
No, not really.
I sat and read about every bit of it. There might be one or two things in there that kind of pertain to the building codes, but those things are already in the building codes, okay?
Well, the building codes and the maintenance codes are two totally different.
Two totally different things. They're, to me, well, that's why I'm saying with you, that they don't really have anything to do with each other.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've come to the conclusion that government is, well, you can use your own imagination as what government is.
Yeah.
Government is an entity that looks out for itself. But anyhow, on this garbage thing,
No, go ahead, brother.
this is interesting. Now, the people who are in the business are picking up this garbage and taking it to the landfill.
Now, you're talking about these private operators.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, now, when they pick it up, they're picking this garbage up in Campbell County, right?
My understanding is, I don't know how they can prove that, to be honest with you.
Well,
But my understanding is that is supposed to be the regulation, that it has to be folks that live in the county that they pick it up from.
okay, that's kind of an honor thing, most likely.
I'm assuming so,
Let me show you the hidden part of this thing, okay?
okay?
There's a hidden thing that nobody's looking at. Everybody's looking at this thing as to gouge somebody else to get money. The object, the money object of about anything that goes on is how to accumulate money.
Right.
And it's kind of like if you can pick a guy's pocket and make him say thank you, you've really done it good. Can you follow me?
I got you.
Okay, now, the people who are in this business of picking up garbage are not in the garbage disposal business. They're in the business of transporting.
That's what they're in the business of, yes.
That's right. They're in the business of transporting. Now, that garbage or refuse or whatever it is, the citizens, and I'm talking about in Campbell County and whatever,
Right.
the citizens in the Campbell County are already paying for the disposal of that. Now, what they're going to be doing, whenever you raise this up to whatever the tonnage or the cost is on the people who are gathering it, then they've got to transfer that then onto the people they're picking the garbage up from.
That's right.
Okay, the people that they're picking the garbage up from are going to end up paying double.
Well, not double. I talked to a friend of mine that lives in the county I think he told me that the guy that picks his up charges him, I think he said $12 a month, and said the guy told him that if this passes, he was going to have to raise it $5. So it's not all the way double, but it's close.
Okay, so what it boils down to is the citizen of Campbell County who is already paying for the disposal of his garbage
Right.
is going to start paying $5 more because all the person that collects it is doing is transporting. The garbage, it's a weird thing. No matter the citizens, what they're doing is they're taxing the guy for transporting it. The garbage is being produced in the county. So what's the difference as to who delivers it? What they're doing.
And I see your point, because, I mean, that citizen has the opportunity to take that garbage himself. It's going to be the same garbage, and these guys picking it up, in some cases, I think you might agree with me, are picking it up, keeping somebody from throwing it out on the side of the road somewhere.
Okay, but they're doing a service. What their service is transporting it, picking it up,
Right.
transporting it, and this thing right here is a hidden whatever, what it is. It's just a means to collect more revenue.
Well, it is, but here's the thing. You run a business down there, right?
Right.
Okay? There are certain fees and taxes that you have to pay just to be in operation, correct?
Well, these people who are in business are already paying that. They're paying for a commercial tag on the truck.
Now, I doubt they've got a commercial tag.
Well, that if you are in business with a vehicle and your vehicle has any lettering on the side of it, it requires a commercial tag. Even like your car, if you see one of these magnetic signs on the side of your car,
Yeah.
you're supposed to have a tag that's got the H on it.
Now, I'll find out the regulation on that. You may be right, I don't know. I'll find out the regulation on that. But even at that, you know, your vehicles that you have at your business, they all have those commercial tags. Do they even have tags on them?
What, you talking about our vehicle?
Yeah.
I think they do.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I've seen some of those big old trucks that there's not really a place to put a tag on those things.
Well, some of those tags, yeah, you got a front bumper. State Tennessee requires your tag be on the front.
Be on the front? Okay.
Wait a minute, wait, I'm wrong. It's on the back of an automobile, but I believe on a commercial vehicle, I know ours are all on the front.
They're on the front. Okay. That's why I've never seen them on the back, because I knew I've seen some of those and there's not a tag on the back, so they're on the front.
If it's a trailer,
Okay, I got you.
trailer tag.
Okay, I got you. But see, but besides the tag fee, you know, I mentioned the personal property tax. There's for your desk and your office supplies and all that.
That is correct.
You pay a tax for that.
You pay a tax if you're in business.
Yes.
You're either required to take an inventory annually or take a source assessment
Right.
on everything that you use in the line of your business.
Absolutely. That's right.
But anyhow,
And see, so my point is, why should you have to pay that? And then somebody else that's running the business picking up garbage, they're in business to make a profit, or they wouldn't be doing it. They ain't doing it just because they want to provide a service. They're in business to make a profit, make an income, okay? So why should they not be having to pay some kind of tax for the privilege of doing business?
they are. If they're in business, they're paying a business license. If they're in business, they have a business license.
Okay?
And they're buying, if I'm talking about the standard rules, they're having commercial license, they're having to pay Social Security on their employees, workers' comp, they're paying all sorts of things. But their business is not the disposal of, but the collection and transportation of.
Right.
Okay, now what?
Well, no, they dispose of it when they drop it off at the environmental center. They're disposing of it.
But the garbage that they're disposing of has already been paid to be disposed of by the taxpayer.
I don't know that I agree with you there, because the county does not offer a garbage disposal, a garbage service.
This is tied in to your property tax.
If it is, they would be offering a garbage service. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, no, whenever you talk about garbage service, you're talking about the collecting and transportation and disposal.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the people that do this business you're talking about, they're in the business strictly of collecting and transporting.
Now, I disagree with you, because you just said yourself, like the city of Carroll, they're in the business of collecting, transporting, and disposing of it. They're disposing of it at the same place these other folks are disposing of it.
Okay,
At the recycle center down there. Carroll's taking it to Toe String. They're not taking it to Raccoon Valley.
oh, but here's what I'm trying to tell you.
So they're doing the same thing.
Okay, then does the city of Carrollville and the city of La Follette pay the county $38 a ton?
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure there's some kind of fee for them doing that.
The question, someone should call in and enlighten us as to whether the cities are paying the same fee as to what they've levied on these other people. If not, there needs to be something looked into there. Because the city, like the city of La Follette, Carrollville, Jacksboro,
Yeah.
does collect this garbage, they do not dispose of it. They strictly
Yeah.
transport, gather and transport it and deposit it at the county.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I agree with you that if Jellicoe, Carrollville, Jacksboro, and La Follette don't pay a fee to dispose of the garbage they pick up, which I think they do, but I'm not 100% sure. If they don't pay a fee, then these other folks shouldn't have to pay a fee either.
Okay, if they don't charge exactly the same fee, the people who are in this business could have some sort of a legal complaint or something about that.
Yeah.
Now, I've took up a lot of time and appreciate it, but this is interesting to get some comments on it and see what the other people.
Let's see. Hold on a minute. Hello? Yeah.
Are you still with me?
Hey, I'm on the show, buddy. Let me call you back in a little bit. Hey, Mr. Henson, hold on. Let me call you back.
Yes.
I was hoping that was somebody calling in and answering your question, but it wasn't. It was somebody else.
Okay.
I didn't recognize the number. I was hoping that was somebody, about does the cities pay?
Okay, I'm sure that there's somebody out there that could shine some light on this and enlighten us.
Okay.
I appreciate.
Oh, hey. I got a county commissioner that texted me just now and said, yes, cities do pay.
At the same rate as what they were talking
It
about?
doesn't say that, but it says, yes, cities do pay to drop off the garbage.
Okay.
No.
It'd be interesting to see if they pay at the same rate as what the other people do.
Yeah, so,
Okay. Now, there may be another question involved in this too. I can't think of it right now.
yeah,
I may think of it later on. I appreciate your time, and I sure hope they enforce them international property maintenance things, because, your dog may have 2 fleas and be infested.
hey, you know what? Like I said before, that, I'm in the pest control business. I'm looking forward to signing up, as many people in the city of Caryville as I can for pest control service, because according to that code, they gotta have it.
Okay, heating and air, if I'm not mistaken, in this code, that you take a tape measure and measure off your wall so many inches, and you have to maintain a certain temperature inside your structure if it's inhabited at certain months of the year.
Now, I didn't see that.
It's in there somewhere.
Is it in there? Okay.
It's in there. I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got an affirmative from a county commissioner that texted me and said, yes, cities do pay to drop off, their garbage at the recycle center. Because folks, it don't matter how that garbage gets there. When it leaves out of there, it goes to Raccoon Valley or wherever it goes. The county has to pay to dump that garbage. It's that simple. They have to pay. So. Letting people have free reign to just do whatever they want to. I know that, Commissioner Hatmaker, Tommy Hatmaker, he used to fuss about, these tree companies that cut line work, cut trees off the lines, the power lines around the county, even if they weren't from the county, used to take that brush at no charge and drop it off out there at the environmental center. Okay, and they were bringing thousands and thousands of pounds of brush out there. And like he used to talk about, some of them are not, they're not even, they're not from the county. They didn't have a Campbell County tag, and that sign clearly says you have to have a Campbell County tag to drop anything off down there. There's a sign up, as you go in. And they were being allowed, and I think that got, because Commissioner Hatmaker, fussed about that, so, and I think that got changed, okay? But, it's good to see our county commission, taking a stance that, if you're gonna, the county's just not gonna subsidize your business any longer. Doesn't matter what it is. If they're finding out situations that go along, the county's no longer going to subsidize your business. Okay, now these vets that are charging, they may decide there's a different way. If they don't want to pay $15 per animal that they drop off, they may figure out there's a better way of doing it, somewhere else to do it. Well, that's up to them. But if they decide to do that, then the county no longer is having to subsidize by paying to take those animal carcasses, remains, whatever you want to call them. They're not having to take those and pay for them to be disposed of outside of the county. Okay, so Again, that's just less money that is brought off, that is put on the shoulders of the taxpayers, So they're just, you can look at this thing and see that, finally some folks down there are getting their head together and thinking about things and you're on the air.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes.
Hey, it's a very simple matter in Campbell County about what's going on,
Okay.
but we're about 10 years behind everybody else. We don't fully understand that when you have a business and you put your business name on the truck, you have to pay, you have to get a commercial license plate, but we don't in Campbell County.
Well, that's what that other caller says. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that's a fact. I don't think that's, no, my understanding is the only reason you get a business tag, a commercial tag, and I may be wrong, and I may be absolutely wrong, other than large vehicles, dump trucks and trailer, things.
Well,
But as far as a regular vehicle,
your large vehicle, your large truck plates come from Nashville.
okay? But I'm thinking that as far as a regular, as far as my vehicle, if I put stickers and I put signs all over my vehicle, my understanding, and I may be wrong, and I'm gonna find this out. The only reason I would have to have a commercial tag is if I decided I wanted to park in a commercial loading zone somewhere.
Jerry, if you look at your license tag on your commercial vehicle,
Yeah.
it has a commercial plate on it.
There is one on mine, yes, I drive a commercial vehicle, yes, there is a commercial tag on it, yes.
That don't mean because you work for a commercial company that you have to get a commercial.
That's what I'm saying, I don't think, I think my company,
No, you don't have to do that.
I don't think you have to, even the car that I drive, even though it's got stickers and words all over it, I don't think they have to get a commercial tag for that vehicle I'm driving.
You already got a commercial.
It does have one, yes, it has a commercial tag, yes.
So that's out, I'm not.
But I don't think that, what I'm saying is, that caller said he thinks you have to have one.
That caller is from Campbell County. Did I mention you before I called you that people in Campbell County they're 10 years behind?
You did?
Okay, I told you that, so we don't need to discuss that no more. Let's talk about what the county has to pay when them people take that stuff out there and dump it at the dump free, what they have to pay when they take, results to Scott County and dump it. The county has to pay a fee over there to dump their garbage.
They do, that's what I'm saying, there's a fee, so,
So everybody pays for what they get. There's no freebies except in Campbell County, everybody wants a freebie.
they want a freebie, there you go. And the county commission, in these two cases, apparently has stopped that, and that's a good thing.
You can go to Carrollville City Hall, you can go to Jacksburg City Hall, and all you see down there is people that run their mouth, and those people who talk the most, they get the smoke grease. And nobody else gets nothing, you just don't let it be normal.
Yeah,
To me, you got the two types of people in Campbell County, you got the greedy and the needy.
right,
And I have never seen bit of it all my life.
Yeah.
Just that people would look at themselves. But give you an example on the license tag. If you got a business and you pay income tax from the income off of that business, and you drive a commercial plate, you drive a vehicle in that business. But if you don't get a commercial tag, you're one up. You'll get it in another county. So that's the reason. When you being here, you can take that vehicle off of your income tax.
yeah,
And then you can take the whole taking vehicle off. And then these people that's driving these big nice trucks,
okay,
pulling big nice lawnmowers around and cut people's grass.
yeah,
And I'll assure you that they'll take the value of that truck off of their income tax.
I guarantee you they will.
Anything, they don't expect to pay pay for the ride.
And they'll write the cost of that trailer off, the cost of them lawnmowers, every bit of that they'll write off.
If you go in another county, you'll put a tag on the commercial, but a guy running around with, the highway patrol don't mess with it. The county definitely don't mess with it because it's not the political thing to do.
Yeah.
And everything that we need to get done in this county is not the political thing to do. And I appreciate everything that you and Jerry, Jim tried to get done for this county. The full sense of what I call the 20th century.
The 20th century, yeah. Hey, I have somebody text me, this person would know, that says you are supposed to have a commercial plate if the vehicle has a business sign on it.
That's right.
So that's state law. So, I wasn't aware of that. I'll be honest with you, I was not aware of that. So, 'cause I thought the only reason to get a commercial tag was if you have a desire to park in a commercial loading zone.
So, yeah,
Because I can take the car that I'm driving, if I go over to one of the hospitals in Knoxville, the company car I'm driving, I am allowed to park in a commercial loading zone.
well, it's not that wouldn't be a big problem. Hey, Jerry, one thing before I leave.
Okay?
That might offer something too. What's going on at Rainbow Dock out there that they've got a problem with the road going down to the people that own the property now they're taking the property over, taking the road over, so it's a commercial road. Don't we know that you can't, if you for 15 years, if you drive to a dock where you've got a private dock with the TVA, and suddenly the people who, one of the parents died or something, one of the kids took over and they stopped public vehicles from going to and unload their boat at Rainbow or something. And then, so.
A good person to answer that question probably would be Melvin Boshier.
That's where that public access thing comes in. But EL's gonna, somebody ought to help tell people in Campbell County that if you've got a private loading, a place where you put your boat in the water, if it turns out to be the public can't take their boat out there and load it because the county pays the road. It's going into it, it's not public access, and it goes across private property, and it's in the deed, which that is, it's in the deed that it reverts back. And so the deed was on file, deed read and everything, but help to explain to people for EL Reynolds, EL Morton, that the people who had public access, and the county kept the road paved for them, just because it did that when the deed goes to who it's supposed to go to and it changes hands, that person can stop that public access. And now they're still looking for they think DL done it all. DL and Chip Coker.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Well, they're out there raising Cain with their county attorney and E.L. Morton over something that they have no idea what to talk about. They might have known what they're talking about. They just want something free, like we've already had it. You use their tax money to pave the road going down to the lake, and we ought to keep on being able to use it. And it wasn't the people that owned the property that closed it.
Well, it would have had to have been a county. It would have had to have been a county road because, as far as I know, Mr. Dilbeck might text me or call me and tell us, it would be against the law for the county to spend county dollars or state dollars even to pave a private road. I think it's against the law to do that.
Well, I told you we're 10 years behind in this county. We're just now getting straightened up in this county. What I'm trying to say is that in the deed, it probably would be a public access. The person might own it, but it'd be a public access.
If the person owned it, I don't care if it's public access or not, if the person owned it, the county doesn't own it, I don't think we can pave it.
You cannot, but you can't stop a public access. If you've been allowing that for so, but this was in the deed that it would revert back, and it's no longer under the same circumstances it was under, so there's no public access to it.
Yeah,
Check on that when you're going, because public access to property that you've been publicly access to don't mean that you be publicly access to go to
forever.
a TVA dock and launch your boat. Just because you paid the property. Well, I don't understand where people are coming from sometimes when I listen to conversations. They want everything for nothing. Don't you charge me nothing.
Right.
I'll get you when that's election day. I'll get you. So they have to. People run this county. E.L. Morton down there trying to run the county and try to run it right. But there ain't no way we're gonna run this county right because it's all wrong. We're getting good schools, we're getting good county government, we're getting good people in the offices down in the courthouse. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people on the street who criticize people trying to do their job and they want to keep on doing it like they used to do it a long time ago.
Yeah,
And that's the whole subject line. I'll let you go. And
Okay.
I'm sorry for so much time.
thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, and I'm gonna agree, I think what I think part of what he said is that, you know, the first year that Mayor Morton was in, let's see, you're on the air.
Yeah, if you talking about public access and how come, they've got, pave all the way down Federal Power and that ain't a public access.
Now, what is it?
Damn. How come they keep it trimmed down Federal Power?
What holler?
See, Willpower,
Wolf Holler?
out Pine Crest.
Now, Pinecrest, okay, 'cause I don't know where Wolf Holler is.
So it's got down Henry Creek Church.
Okay,
How come they keep that paved down there and keep the road mowed down there?
well, it's gotta be a county road. You know, the county,
Well, I through there.
my understanding, and I have no idea where you're talking about, okay? But it's gotta be a county road, or the county road department shouldn't be working on it, and certainly shouldn't be paving it.
Well, they've got it starting chipped all the way down through there and got it, keep it mowed every time they come out through there.
Okay, so I'm missing out, what's the issue?
How come they do that if it ain't a public road all the way through there? They're supposed to come out down Yelcom Highway.
Okay, I'll have to ask the road superintendent, because again, I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. So that's something I'll have to ask the road superintendent. So you're saying it's a public access road,
Well, it shows it on the, well, you put it on GPS and it shows you how to go to Windsor Point through there.
okay? But it's not a private road. It's not a private road.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay, so
If they take care of it.
now are you saying somebody's denying access to the property?
Well, yeah, they got gates up all the way through there.
No, okay, so there's a gate up. You're saying there's a gate up over a county road somewhere else. Now, this is not the same gate that Mr. Slusher and I talked about for a long time, is it?
No, it's not the one out of Gary Reed, it's the one down through Wolf Holler, right in front of Indian Creek Church.
Okay, so there's another gate out there, you're saying blocking a a county road.
Well, it shows it on the GPS, goes right through there, goes to Windsor Point.
That doesn't mean just because it's on the GPS doesn't mean it's a county road. There's private roads on the GPS too, so I'll ask Mr. Dillbeck if that's a private road or a county, or county road.
All right, Ray, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody knows, we got about a minute or two left, anybody knows any more about that, let us know. Because I haven't been out there, I'm not familiar with what he's talking about. I almost thought he was talking about the one we talked about before. Apparently he's saying there's another gate over another road out through there. I'll ask Mr. Gilbeck about it. So, probably got time for one more call if somebody wants to discuss something. Other than that, you know, appreciate you folks participating tonight. What I was gonna say about E.L. Morton, the first year, you know, even Mr. Slusher and I, we had some issues with the way things were going, okay? But it's looking, from my viewpoint, it's looking like Mayor Morton has got his act together. And it looks like he's doing some good things, and he's trying to get some things straightened out. And it's gonna take a while, okay? But it looks like he's straightening some things out that should have been straightened out years ago. So, honeybees at the window, so I appreciate you folks, and we'll see you next week.